Hey, welcome back to ZK Master Tech. Today, we're working on a 9870 that has oil in the engine coolant. We've been there before, haven't we? And there's been 5 inches of rain here, and now the sun's out, and now it's hotter than Shania Twain jumping rope in the attic. I mean, it is hot. So, we're going to be replacing the oil cooler, and I'm going to send the oil cooler off to get tested. And we're going to be taking the thermostats out, changing all the coolant hoses, the coolant tank, flushing the system out. And then if the oil comes back, basically this thing's going to need a head gasket. But the first thing to do is replace the oil cooler and have it tested, get the system flushed out and get everything all cleaned out, and then see what happens. This one, you can't put the sealed head bolts in because the sealed head bolts are only 225 millimeter long. This one is an earlier tier 3 13.5 liter, so they have 200 millimeter long head bolts, so you can't use the sealed head bolts. So the only fix for a cross-contamination problem in the head gasket is to replace the head gasket on the engine. So we're going to go ahead and get this system drained out and get the oil cooler replaced and thermostats out. Let's get into it. All right, so I already got all the shields and the air cleaner and everything pulled out so we can access the oil cooler right here and the thermostats. The coolant tank back here is all blackened, full of oil. So I'm going to get back behind here and get some shields off. I want to pinch off the lower supply line going to that tank, because all the oil is trapped in the top of the system. So I don't want to drain that back through the system. So I'm going to try to get that tank out and that supply hose in one piece and have that clamped off. We'll clamp that off and then we'll drain the system, and then we'll get that out of there. All right, so here's the coolant tank here, and let me tell you what, she's got the ick. It is full of oil. So I'm going to get all these return lines, overflow line off, and I'm going to clamp off this supply hose down at the bottom as far as I can, and then we'll drain the system, and then I'll get this thing out of here. Going in the hole. It's icky in here. Oh boy. Down in a hole, losing my soul. Well, uh-oh. I need tools. Gotta get a shield off. All right, let me bring you in here. How to take that shield off that was right here, and this coolant hose here coming from the bottom of the tank goes down to a T-fitting down there. I've got her pinched off. Now Joseph is going to go to the petcock drain valve on the bottom of the radiator, and he's going to drain the system. And once it's drained, I'll pop that off, and then I'll take this all out in one piece, leave all the oil up here. And we're draining. Of course, the bottom of the system is going to be pretty clean. There's the drain valve right there. Not much oil came out because I clamped that tank off. Good. All right, I got the tank out. Release those pliers. We're pinched off. Take that lid off. You have to use 2 hands. Oh, yeah. There's the oil. Oh, yummy. Now that the coolant's drained, we're going to work on getting this oil cooler out of here. So we're going to take the oil supply line off here for the turbo. And then there's a coolant supply line for the turbo actuator back here. Me and this block heater's not getting along. Take that thing off. I also drained the engine block where this hose is going to a petcock right there. I'm going to take these fuel lines out of my way. Got my pig mat. You guys can get that from newpig.com. Works pretty awesome. Got my Milwaukee fan here, keeping me alive. I'm going to take these 15s out. Here comes the oil mess. Oh, fun. All right. Take the EGR coolant line off this cooler now. Oh, it's coming off hard. It's 1.5 inches. Okay. I'll get the coolant hose off to the water pump. Oh, baby. Boy. It's stuck. Gee whiz. That thing's on there solid. Water pump's been replaced before too. 8mm Allen. Oh. Indexing bar for the win. Alrighty. Okay. All right, so we got a new oil cooler in there, and all the gasket mating surfaces cleaned up, new gasket. There's just these two big nuts on there that you take off, and then that cooler pops out. So I'm going to get this slid back on into position. Let's start it. Make sure these other bolts can go in. All right, 50 foot-pounds on these Allens. Yep. Got some new thread sealer on this coolant pipe. Try to get it re-threaded in the hole, might be a trick. Place this O-ring, get it out. I'll tell you what, that sucker is cooked and in there. Well, I got a little piece of it. It's probably a TY 63 something. All right, get this hose on. I can slide the outer cover on. All right, that's all put together. All the lines on, block heater back in, brake cleaned it off. Now we're going to move into the thermostats. Gotta get this coolant line off. Wow. Almost forgot these. Couple whacks. Thermostat's stuck. There. All right, got all the gasket surfaces cleaned up. Now we're going to put this back together with no thermostats in it, just a new gasket here. We ain't worried about torquing these down because it's going to come right back off. Put the hose back on. Uh-oh. I broke it. Should have a new one, Joseph. No. It's a worm clamp. All right, so I got everything back on. I went ahead and installed just the air cleaner, just temporary, so it wouldn't be sucking in dirty air. Got like my makeshift coolant tank. So this funnel's cracked and it allowed me to tuck my return lines in there just perfect. Got that sitting in there. I used the original hose there. We're going to dump some detergent into there and fill this system up with water. I'm going to use a mixture of Cascade and Dawn, and we're going to give it the best shot of trying to clean this thing out. All right, so I ran it for about 30 minutes with soapy water, and then we drained it out, and then I kind of flushed it out with some clean water. As the oil would rise to the top of the system, I would overflow my funnel and make it go overboard, and then I would take the cap off the radiator and let it kind of purge out some oil, because that oil's always wanting to go to the top of the water. So every time it would do that, I'd try to flush out the oil as it was running. And when we drained it, it was just soapy water. I didn't really see that much oil come out of it. So I think we got most of it taken care of. We're packing up for the day. It's hot. It's almost 4 o'clock. We got an hour drive back to the shop. And the customer said he was going to try to flush it 3 or 4 times over the weekend. So we'll come back on Monday and see where it's at, if we need to flush it again, or if we should go ahead and put the thermostats in it, and then we'll put the thermostats in it and put all the shields and everything back on. Then we'll be done with this thing. And we're back. So it's Monday now. The customer flushed the combine for me. He was a nice guy, and flushed it 3 or 4 times over the weekend, and there's just clean water coming out of it. So he put it back in the shed for us so we could get out of the sun. So that's nice. And I got Ben with me here today.
How's it going?
Hi. And he decided he wanted to learn how to work on combines.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to hit combines really hard. So I got him. We removed the operator hose. We're going to take that thermostat cover back off, put new thermostats in it, and then we're going to replace most of the coolant hoses on the engine here, and then we'll get it filled back up with coolant. So let's get into it. Upper hose is already off.
Go ahead and slap these out.
Just got to take off the 15s. Just need a little tap, came right off.
Yummy.
I've got a razor blade scraper in that bag.
Alrighty.
We'll get the surfaces cleaned up. I'll go get you some parts. Get the thermostats in. New gasket. Anytime you do this flushing job, you always got 2 of those gaskets, because you're going to have to take it back off. Just hook her in.
There's our hose. Watch the thermos. Oh no.
Ben's got the speed.
Gotta follow it over there. Get the BAP gun. Both ends.
Easy. Oh, we're just gonna go 35 foot-pounds on those.
Oh yeah, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
1, 2, 3,
4,
4,
5,
5,
6. Yeah.
6. Yeah. Money.
Put your hose clamp back up in there. You gotta be kind of gentle with those because they like to strip the clamp out pretty easily. That's what I did the first time I tightened it. Snap. Stripped it right off.
So go just before it breaks.
The 1/4 inch has got some balls. You got to be careful with her. She'll get you in trouble.
Nope, a little more.
Oh yeah. I mean, it'll bog a little bit.
That's pretty finger tight.
Okay.
All right, that's on.
Correct.
That is correct.
Money.
Winning.
Now you're gonna wanna clock that like this.
So it's not rubbing on anything?
Well, there's a shield that goes in right up here, so you don't want it sticking up or your shield won't go back on. This one, you want to have it pointing down, kind of like here, because that intake pipe's going to be going in through there. The closer you get it to the lip, the tighter it'll seal. Yeah.
So that lip is right there. Yep. Feels even.
Very good. Lower hose. Someone's already put a water pump on this old girl. We change these water pumps on these 13.5s every 3,000 hours. Because that water pump there, when the bearings go out in it, it can take out the timing gears in the engine.
Oh boy.
It ain't pretty.
That's not good.
I've seen heads break, cranks break, timing gears break, blocks break. I mean, $600 water pump can destroy a $40,000 engine.
There's that. Whoop. A little bit of schmutz.
Ew.
Icky. Did you bring me the other hose? Oh yeah, it's right behind me.
Yeah, I got you set up, man. I don't mess around.
I'm just testing you.
I told you I'll be the best parts and tool guy you've ever seen. You just got to sling the wrenches on the parts.
That I can. On the bottom. Wham bam shazam. Done and done.
I'm done. Ben's in the hole of doom.
Good thing I'm not claustrophobic.
Well, this one's got a lot more room than a 780.
Yeah. So much room for activities.
I mean, the Sasquatch can fit back there. I mean, I could almost jump rope back there. I mean,
comparatively so.
Compared to a 680 or a 780.
Yeah.
What'd you do? You dropped it?
Yes. I have backups, but I need one with magnet.
Oh boy. Where'd it go?
Over yonder.
Yeah, but where'd your flashlight go? Did it go
to be determined.
The land of yonder?
At least it's on, so we can spot it easily.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go try to find it. Found it!
Yay! Thank you. I need hose picking.
You should pick right. I just pulled it off there by hand.
Yeah, it's being
You got a grunt.
stubborn for me. Use a little mechanical leverage. What was that?
Whoa. That was me.
Oh no. Minor leakage.
Ben,
Oh, indeed.
how's that?
Oh, it's wonderful. That'll be my next investment.
Oh yeah,
Battery-powered fan.
it's a lifesaver.
We use our little clampy clamp.
Yeah,
Sure don't
squeeze clamp.
lose this in combine.
Yeah, don't make that go flying. Ben's got the tank and the shields all in. Now we're going to replace these two hoses right here. They come out here. One's got check valve going to the overflow. Ooh. And one's going down to the top of the thermostat housing. So these hoses, you always want to replace them because the oil, you know, at the very top of the system is constantly returning back to the tank. These hoses will have a lot of oil in them that you just won't be able to get it out. And plus they're getting kind of soft because of it. So we got some bolt hose right here, and we're just going to get all that replaced. All right, new coolant hoses are in to the tank. That's done. Now we can start getting all the shields and air cleaner stuff back all in. All right, got all the shields and the air cleaner on. Now we're going to use the transfer pump to pump coolant into the radiator. All right, got the transfer pump, new coolant. Fire in the hull.
Ready?
There we go. All right, so we got this thing filled full of coolant. Now all we got to do is fire it up and run it, check for leaks, and top off the system if necessary, and then we'll be done here. All right, we ran it, let it get it up to temperature. Don't have no leakies anywhere. This thing's all done. All right, well, that's going to do it for this project. I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for coming along, Ben.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
So hit that like button, subscribe below if you haven't already. Comment, let me know how I'm doing. And until next time, keep that green iron moving.